As my three kids and many of us head back to school or work for the first time in 1.5 years given COVID, it actually has me thinking that if the internet was invented first, would we still have physical schools and offices? And years ago, I actually saw a panel of experts talking about the impact of the internet on newspapers. And in the audience was Warren Buffett. And he raised his hand to ask a question. And everybody stopped talking, like, oh my gosh, the Sage of Omaha has a question. And his question was this. He said, if the internet was invented first, would we still have newspapers? Of course not. So I do think that we need physical offices and physical schools, but I think we should actually spend half of the work week at school or offices and the other half of the work week learning or working from home. And COVID has taught us that in many industries, we can accomplish more at home. Plus, imagine how much money schools and companies and all of us would save. Also, it's much better for the environment not to drive to work or school every single day of the week. And yesterday I had this wonderful meeting in San Francisco, close to where I live. And it was the first time I drove into San Francisco since 2019. And I was stuck in traffic. And I thought to myself, what a waste of time and petrol as well. And I think that big cities are going to go into secular decline because we don't need to spend 5 days a week in a big city working or going to school there. And I think that government spending on infrastructure is smart when the economy needs it. However, instead of spending massive stimulus packages to build more roads, why don't we just save that money and give tax breaks to companies and schools that decide to have their employees or students work or learn from home for 2 or 3 days of the work week? And this way you save the environment, you save money, and we all have more time to exercise. And most importantly, we have more time to mentor our children so they stay on the right path. Now, as a country and as a global society and as investors, it always makes sense for us to spend what is left after saving instead of saving what is left after spending. And so the bottom line is that yes, I do believe that stimulus spending is a good thing in dire economic times. However, the bigger picture is that giving tax incentives for companies to let employees work from home more often and letting students study from home more often will have a much bigger impact on the environment, parenting, health, and so much more in the very long run.